a country where more than 40% of the citizens live below the poverty line and over 70% of economic activities strive in the informal sector, the newly signed bill by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a pivotal moment in the economic journey of the country. The government has projected that the annual revenue of the country is going to increase by more than 15%, which will help to boost infrastructure, social reforms, as well as diversify the economy. But how will all of this come into reality? Is it going to uplift workers or businesses, or it will further deepen economic hardship? But join us as I sit with someone who walks on the corridor of policy. Can you briefly explain the changes the new tax bill introduced to our tax system in Nigeria?
We have a new tax act called the Nigeria Tax Administration Act that just recently signed in by the president, and there's so much about it. The changes are many. The basic ones that affect Nigerians: number one, the tax relief, because most people would like to hear about tax relief. It's a tax relief for income earners, low income earners who earn below 1 million naira. I think 800,000 naira. So if you earn below 800,000 naira, then you are not to be taxed anymore in the new tax law. Then there's also the rent relief they grant people, which is up to 20% of your gross income. That means you have to subtract 20% of your income from what you earn as your rent relief before you can be taxed. So you see that Nigerians are going to have a higher, what we call disposable income in economics.
Let me quickly butt in a bit. What impact do you expect this new tax law to have on Nigeria's economic growth as well as investment climate in the coming days?
Massive. I just told you that personal disposable incomes of Nigerians have been increased, and that means that translates to increase in demand for commodities. When you earn more, you demand more. So that's going to stimulate growth. Manufacturers are going to produce more because Nigerians are going to demand more. Then for companies, the new tax law is going to create a kind of business-friendly environment for companies to thrive. It's good. We are expecting now investors to also have to boost in the confidence of investors in our system, because before we have multiple levies, which this new tax law has already solved. We no longer have multiple levies, so we have confidence in the system. Before you pay tax, the same tax about 3 or 4 times, but now since we have a single unified tax system, you just pay it once. So you will see that it will attract foreign direct investments. We now have a tax system that you can compare with what obtains in the world.
How is it going to affect the take-home pay of salary earners?
There's a new tax band. We practice a progressive tax system where you pay as you earn. It's okay. Tax rate now depends on how much you earn. People who earn below 800,000 naira are not to pay tax at all, while people who earn about 50 million naira are to pay 25% of their income. So that is a way to make the rich contribute more to revenue, government revenue, and then such revenue is now used to provide facilities that the poor will also benefit from.
Now, what kind of support or changes do you think businesses will need in the coming days as a way of helping them adapt to this new tax
Public awareness.
regime?
Awareness. People who do not know that they are enjoying tax relief may still be taxed by the organizations. You know, Nigeria, this is a capitalist society and it's prone to corruption. You see, so government should spend more money to create awareness and then to support small businesses in automation, because VAT now is automated in the new tax law. So the government should support SMEs to organize workshops for them to train them on how they now remit their taxes.
In your opinion, does this bill improve tax equity and revenue generation in Nigeria?
Yes, I've talked about equity. A good tax system must follow the principle of equity. You must pay as you earn. You understand? Now, this new tax law is allowing the rich to pay more, while the vulnerable groups are not even paying at all. Revenue, you also talked about revenue. Now, this tax law has broadened the scope, widened the net. While you are giving tax relief to some people, you discover that a lot of things have now been taxed, like the digital assets have now been taxed. Virtual income has now been, that is, if you are trading forex now, or your income that you all I'm doing crypto, I'm doing all of those things, online earnings and all of that, then you'll be taxed. So the country is going to be generating more tax. In fact, let me even shock you. Nigeria has been taking 30% of tax from what we should generate initially. But with this new tax law, the expectation that we can now begin to generate up to 70% of what we should be generating.
So thank you, Mr. Kukola. This has been very enlightening. But finally, before I let you go, what challenges do you foresee as far as implementation of this new tax law is concerned?
Nigeria is a capitalist society. Nigerians will always want to find loopholes. So the burden is now resting on tax officers. The FRS chairman is a very meticulous person, Zaccheaus Adedeji from Oyo State. He's a very good man. So we are hoping that he's going to set up his team to face these challenges, because this new tax law will certainly come with challenges of implementation, number one, challenges of adjustment, because businesses now need to also adjust.
Thank you very much.